Another near 90-degree day in Denver. Earlier, it was a great day to get outside, sit by the water, cool off, maybe in some water if you wanted that. Now, all eyes on the skies as the clouds roll in. We know this is part of the deal here. Our weather impact team is tracking the chance for some evening storms. So, Kathy, what we got going?
We have had, Kim, some rain, thunder and lightning as the evening drive has been well underway, with a couple of severe cells up in Weld County that have the potential to produce hail. The radar is pretty active. Most of the storm activity has shifted over Denver and points eastward, and temperatures have come way down now with that cloud cover and the showers around the area. But you can see how active the radar is, and we've also got radar detection on. A line of storms east of Akron and west of Ray could have hail. We had a couple of cells roll through Weld County that did go severe because of the wind threat and quarter-size hail threat. Have not had hail reports yet, thankfully. And then this line has come through Aurora, getting reports of some small hail, heavy torrential rain in Parker and down toward the Castle Rock area. A lot of lightning. Again, thunder roars, go indoors. Lightning is really dangerous here in Colorado, of course, anywhere and any time of the year, but certainly in springtime with these daily thunderstorms coming through, you have to really be mindful of the skies. Watch the skies. And the beneficial rain that we're seeing out across the western slope and southwestern Colorado not creating any issues as our severe weather threat remains north of our area for now. Denver's got a chance of seeing some rain over the next hour, and then things kind of calm down, but a lovely temperature trend if you're going to the Rockies game or if you're out and about tonight. Full forecast details are coming up.
Coloradans protesting the Trump administration made their voices heard in Denver last night. Protesters shut down busy stretches of downtown, and at one point they tried to get onto I-25. Today, we know 18 people were arrested following those protests. The protesters were mostly peaceful, even hours after they first began.
9 News reporter Rachel Krause joins us here in studio. Rachel, you were out there last night when those protesters were out on the streets.
Yeah, we walked with protesters marching down Lincoln and Broadway, and I watched as the group tried to rattle open the James Merrick parking garage gate near the state capitol. Officers fired pepper balls to clear the crowd. Police say there were challenges yesterday, but they've made big changes to how they police protests since 2020.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
Protesters hit the streets of downtown Denver Tuesday, protesting ICE and the Trump administration's deportation. 18 were arrested, accused of graffiti, creating Molotov cocktails, even trying to hit a cop with a guitar.
So no serious injuries, thank goodness.
An arrest affidavit shows one person hurt, taken to Denver Health after being hit in the head with a skateboard. Denver Police Chief Ron Thomas says officers used smoke canisters and shot pepper balls to clear the crowd when protesters tried to get on I-25.
Unfortunately, there were some agitators in the crowd that threw rocks and bottles at officers and tried to shut down the highway.
Hours later, protesters spotted officers in a garage near the Capitol, grabbing the lock gate and shaking it. Officers shot pepper balls through the gate and from the garage roof to clear the crowd. How they police protests Tuesday stemmed from changes made after protests in 2020, like not firing or hitting the crowd with projectiles and announcing it beforehand.
That's a tactic that we call area denial. So, we're not impacting individuals with paintball pellets. We're actually impacting the ground or walls or hard surfaces, so that irritant can kind of get in the air and keep people away from the area that we're trying to protect.
The city has paid out more than $18 million, with another $14 million on the table after 2020 protests. And DPD has mandated body cameras, using less lethal force against protesters, and making sure officer badge numbers are visible.
And just really being quite tolerant of behavior that may be disruptive to the community, in terms of blocking traffic and things like that, and just really not engaging until things turn violent.
Since 2020, Thomas says DPD is often able to manage protests without issue. With another protest planned Saturday, he says they're ready for whatever the day brings.
And we're certainly hopeful that things don't turn ugly like they did last night, but prepared to respond appropriately if they do.
Denver police tell me they're preparing for Saturday's protests and have enough officers able to help. And it's not just DPD keeping an eye on these protests. The Office of the Independent Monitor is watching the police response to protests both last night and in the future, keeping an eye out for any concerning behavior.
Right. Rachel Krause, thank you. Yeah. Similar protests continue across the country as people speak out against immigration enforcement. Several other cities have taken part in demonstrations, including New York, Austin, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. In Los Angeles, an overnight curfew is now in effect in parts of downtown to lower the risk of the violent protests happening. The mayor there says the curfew is likely to continue for a few days. Closer to home, a man is in custody tonight after Arvada police say he stole a car from a woman who was with her children outside of a local swimming pool. Arvada police say this happened Tuesday morning just before 10:45 while the woman was near Safe Splash Swim School. Investigators say a man approached the woman in her car, claiming somebody was chasing him and trying to kill him. He then pulled the woman out of her car before driving off in it. Arvada police say the woman was able to get her children out of the car before he took off. Investigators later tracked that stolen car to Golden. Police then arrested Clifton William White. He was reportedly trying to flag down cars on Highway 58 and Highway 6. He is facing a charge of aggravated robbery.
A judge in Aurora issued 7 bench warrants this afternoon for an Aurora landlord who failed to appear in court. The man has claimed Venezuelan gangs took over 3 apartment buildings about a year ago. Attorneys told the judge that Zev Baumgarten doesn't feel safe to come to Colorado due to the threats from gang members. The city filed 7 criminal cases against him related to failures to keep units at the edge of Lowry Apartments and Whispering Pines livable. We told you last night that Baumgarten says he's not the apartment's owner or manager. However, 9 News Investigates found he told police in 2023 he was the manager. He also claims the city is prosecuting him because of his religion. It's not clear what will happen next in these cases. When 9 News asked Baumgarten's lawyer if Zev will turn himself in, the lawyer told us, quote, "I don't know."
A man accused of trying to kidnap a girl in Westminster last year pleaded guilty in court this morning. On the morning of October 25th, Westminster police say the girl was walking to school when a car pulled up next to her near West 125th Avenue and Delaware Street. She told officers the driver pointed a gun at her and told her to get into the car. The girl then told him there was money in her backpack, which she says he took, and then just drove off. Police later identified that driver as 31-year-old Jeremiah Mullins. Today, he pleaded guilty to second-degree motor vehicle theft, aggravated robbery, and attempted second-degree kidnapping. He's soon to be sentenced on July 29th.
There are new developments in the investigation of a fired Jeffco Schools administrator who died by suicide late last year. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says David Weiss, the former chief of schools, had no direct contact with minors, either in person or online, despite evidence that he bought child pornography using Bitcoin. A financial broker first alerted authorities about his purchase in late 2024. Weiss died by suicide in Maryland the same day a search warrant was executed at his home in Colorado. Investigators spent months analyzing his devices and confirmed illegal purchases. However, today they announced they found no indication of direct involvement with minors.
Officials in Fort Collins are trying to crack down on speeding drivers. The city is installing some new mobile radar speed cameras this month. They'll move around Fort Collins within designated speed corridors. 2 of the cameras are already in place. You'll find one on East Prospect and then the other on South College Avenue. They're part of a new enforcement push by Fort Collins police aimed at slowing down drivers in problem areas. Starting now through June 30th, warnings will be issued for drivers going 11 to 24 miles per hour over the speed limit. But come July 1st, those warnings turn into $40 tickets.